I am joined by Connor once again, Connor Summers. We are now going to
Hello.
type share needles. Welcome, Connor. Tell us, what do you do? What are you offering?
Hi, my name is Connor Summers. Currently, am offering um, services as a priest of Hermes. So if you have any prayer request, go to my Instagram, Real Regal Beagle, and just send me a message saying whatever you would like me to pray to Hermes for you. And you can also follow some of my writing at theregalbeagle.dog. I occasionally post updates there, and I in 2025 have some writing projects I'm hoping to get going. So I hope you'll follow along.
Are you doing tarot readings still?
I am still doing tarot readings. However, the current information on the site is not accurate. I have decided to do it for uh, pro bono, but tips are appreciated.
No,
I
no,
know.
nobody, nobody. You better send him money.
But I'm doing it as a community service for Hermes. I did a whole bunch of psychedelics and came to the conclusion that that's what I should do. So until I decide otherwise,
Or was it just your two fix gone crazy? Your two fix was like, give it all away.
my two fix on psychedelics made me sell my organs for free. So no, I'm kidding. I still have all my organs as far as I know.
Wow. Um, oh yeah, we were gonna give tips to the audience. To the
Oh,
audience.
so
We didn't do
because
Sharon Needles. Yeah, because Sharon Needles has a drinking problem. At least she did. I don't know if she still does. She did. She did, right?
yeah, really bad. Alaska Thunderfuck was her boyfriend slash partner for a long time, and they both kind of fueled each other's alcoholism.
Always the best.
Um, and as someone who's a has a little bit of a problem with alcohol from time to time myself, take B vitamin complex supplements. Okay, you're gonna want to take this before you start drinking, and then once you're done drinking, take another one. Is it going to turn your pee neon yellow? Of course. However, it is also going to reduce the likelihood you get a hangover. And if you do get a hangover, it will be less bad. Also, invest in magnesium citrate. This will help your heart from exploding if you are a frequent binge drinker. So,
You need vitamin C too because of scurvy. Um,
yes,
and also activated charcoal.
trust the experts. We gotta trust the experts from the peanut gallery.
Not that we're encouraging anyone to do that. This is
Yeah.
depressing. Um,
Don't binge drink. That is the best solution. But if you're gonna binge drink, now you have some advice.
love it. Sharon, yeah, this is Sharon Needles. Sharon Needles got famous from Drag Race. I guess I still have a big crush on Sharon Needles. I can't remember what season. I mean, she was on two seasons, right?
Um,
Or no, wait, she
no, I
won
think
her season. She won
she
her
she
season.
won her season and she didn't do all winners because she had a controversy.
Oh,
Uh,
racist or
and
something?
do you no, she didn't say something. Do you
Racist
want me to get into?
swastika? Yeah, but she's like an artist. Like this is where I'm like, she's an artist. Like this isn't racism.
Well, the
It's like she's an artist, So
the the controversy wasn't about her art. It was that she um sent some inappropriate messages to a teenage fan. They weren't they weren't sexual in nature, but the teenage fan was struggling with some self-harm issues and she encouraged those self-harm issues. And that's what I understand the controversy to be about. And also on a cruise ship, she apparently slapped a teenager. So or something like that is my understanding. If I'm wrong, nobody come for me. I'm not uh chronically online for Drag Race Queens, so if I have some misinformation, just correct me.
well, that probably points to her heart fix being like in the 3-4 space, to quote Morrissey. If you're gonna jump, then jump. Don't talk about it. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I don't care. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like Sharon Needles is a seven wing six head center sister, but I could be wrong. Um, and she idolized, or maybe that's a strong word, Amanda Lepore. So I think she kind of like fashioned a bit of her image, but she's kind of got a severe, she's got like a more severe sort of. I'm almost wondering if she's social self-pres. There's something very like severe about her aesthetic that, but I
Yeah,
didn't
and
watch her
it
for a
seems like
while.
social self-pres leaning really hard into the SPSX
Yeah.
um flow state.
Well, I almost wonder then if she actually let's just watch some stuff. I don't want to make up guesses. I haven't watched her for a while, so this is kind of no closed caption. Okay, let me know. So this is yeah, she talks about like her some of her favorite horror movies, which might give us some information. Um, I don't know.
Small Iowa town where there's nothing to do, and clearly knowing that I was weird. There was no other salvation
Maybe she's forming three figs, and that's what I'm seeing as social self-pres. I don't know.
It's
Anyway.
possible.
than the video rental store. Horror films to me was the perfect escapism for someone who's like bullied or picked on. A lot of horror movies that I loved were pretty much revenge films. You know, if you look at the Jason Voorhees or the Michael Myers, it's all about returning for revenge, and the archetype of of the victims in 80s horror movies was always the college jock and the popular girl. And I think in order for me not to create another Columbine, I could vicariously live through watching my high school bullies being slaughtered in cinema.
I like that she just tells you. Like,
Yep,
so
very direct. Uh yeah, that
the grudge holding thing, I think too, like active grudge holding. I know nine wing ones can hold grudges, but I think like the active grudge holding for me is like frustration and or reactive, but like reactive in the 6-4 space, not really. I don't think an eight would own that. But I think it's like kind of the 1, 4, 6, 7 grudge space of like I like revenge and
yeah.
it's fun.
And the the way she framed it indicated to me like clearly social's present.
Hmm.
There there was a a an awareness of social dynamics and the fact that there's a social pecking order, and she resented that social pecking order enough that these movies were a uh I guess I you know wish fulfillment basically. So I definitely don't think social blind like some people type her at
Yeah,
all.
I like
That's
social
not.
self-pres, but I don't know.
I'm leaning social self-pres myself.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Also, I think I can speak to like the 3, 4, and maybe 7 space of like I'm not I don't belong in the like not 4 as a core, but like 3 wing 4 and 7 is like I don't belong on the bottom, like or I didn't belong on the bottom, but like the 4 part can be like I was on the bottom, but it doesn't seem like 9 like droopy kind of like no one understood me, so I just faded into the background. It's like I hated people, so.
Yeah, there's real active resentment.
Yeah, and that's why I like her because you can feel the frustration, lightning bolts coming. Like, look at her face. Like, even oh, oops. Um. Okay, well, maybe we can watch that as well. But you can see it. Like, looking at her face, there's just like a lot of like.
Hissing and fighting.
Yeah, and like disgust and she doesn't really hide her and also she's kind of like got like a bit of a lunatic thing going on where she's sort of unhinged and doesn't care who knows it. I don't know what this is. This is leaning more.
It's her plastic surgery.
Three, four. Her space is more likely, I think, than 4, 3. But okay. Also, Sharon Needles, like
It's a great
the name
name.
in itself is like, um, it evokes a response from the audience. It's like kind of disturbing and dark and disgusting. And
It's
we're
not
all
like she's Lady Beef Bouillon or something.
Lady Beef Bouillon or Amanda Lepore.
Exactly.
Lady Beef Bouillon. I hope you do that as a character. Hey, do you want to promote or do you have your thing set up yet? Your
My what?
or no, I
No,
don't talk about it.
I
Okay.
I don't have it out yet.
Stay tuned.
My favorite slasher film of all time is Sleepaway Camp Part 2.
I got in trouble for showing this Sleepaway Camp 1 in film school as one of my favorite endings. And I'm old, so this was before like you weren't allowed to like show that kind of stuff, and I thought it was just like incredible and amazing. And have you seen Sleepaway Camp?
I know of its cultural influence.
So I think the fact that Sharon Needles likes the Sleepaway Camp franchise when it's like a lot of people have been like it's transphobic, like also speaks to her having seven in her type. I think because it's like the big reveal at the end. For those of you who haven't seen it, please watch it. I don't know. I love it. It's like quintessential 80s horror to me, but the fact that she's like not offended by it and is like this is fucking hilarious or like inspired me and she likes number 2, Angela gets revenge like further. I don't know. Maybe she identified with Angela. I'm not sure. I interrupted it.
If you remember in the first one, you realize that the child, the little girl Angela, was the killer at the camp, but she wasn't a girl. She had a male body. She had a dick. You find out that Angela had been staying in a mental health ward and was granted her sexual reassignment surgery and returns to the camp as a counselor and takes her revenge yet again, one by all those bratty little campers. They all deserved it. One of my favorite.
I was thinking about this the other day because I was watching some Quentin Tarantino interviews. I don't know if you agree with his what his type is, being maybe like 7 wing 8 with a one fix, but he also has this thing with revenge. So I'm like wondering if there's some kind of 7-1 thing or
Ooh,
seven
that would be interesting.
maybe.
Death scenes of all time is in the film where where one of the antagonists, this snotty little girl, is walking by an old abandoned porta potty, like a John, an outhouse that hasn't been used for years, and Angela, the killer, stabs her in the back a couple of times and forces her head into the toilet, and she goes,
"What's down there? Answer me." "That's right, one of your favorite words." "Well, do you mind if I borrow it for a moment? You've got a shitty friend and a shitty camper."
"What else is down there? Guess you're just going to have to hop in and find out. Leeches, Allie, for a leech like you." And then once she's finally dead, Angela just says the coolest line, "You should have been the first to go." Another famous line in there is,
I mean, this is frustration. It's a lot of frustration.
Lots of frustration energy. Yeah. So great.
It's also super ego-y too because it's like you're bad, and now I'm like you said the word shit, and now I'm gonna make you eat shit. Which I don't know. I don't know. I never thought of her having a one fix. I don't even know if she does, but now it's like I'm kind of seeing this sort of thing happening. Could be the social self-pres though.
um, She's with one of the campers.
I'm giving you one last chance, Mayor. We're sleeping out tomorrow night. I'd love to have you there. Just say you're sorry. Never. I would rather die first, Angela.
Angela reaches into the back seat, and the girl goes, "Oh, what do you have, Angela? A gun?" And she goes,
No? A drill.
"It's just good writing."
It's just, oh my God.
Unless she's I don't think she's a 6'7". I think she's 7'6".
No, there's too much being unabashed about
Yeah.
um these clearly these clearly I mean, a lot of people would feel uncomfortable admitting some of that stuff,
Hmm.
especially if they are like a 6'7",
Yeah.
especially if they're a social 6'7",
Yeah.
which I know social 6'7" can get involved in like the punk scene and stuff, but there's still this desire to be good within one's ideology, and there's just an unabashed love of what she loves.
Hmm.
So I don't see
Yeah.
6'7" at all.
No, you're right. She's like chaotic and like doesn't care. Who knows it?
Yeah, and what makes it entertaining is, or to her, is the chaos of the film, and probably that it is a controversial film. And that's probably what I can guarantee you that's what attracted her to the first one. And then you get to the second one and you just get even more nice, campy horror goodness.
Yeah. And I also think could speak to her having like Wing 4 or something because it's like she's not mainstream enough for number one. She likes number two.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's like my favorite Alien movie is like Alien Resurrection, which is and Prometheus, which are anyways, whatever.
It
I haven't
puts
seen
transgendered people into a negative
Sorry.
I said I haven't seen that one yet.
light, but they definitely had power in cinema, and that's it. Horror was the only genre you saw them in.
But there's still that social thing of like my tribe. So there's like a bit of like 60, like Wing 60 or social kind of,
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely a strong social dominant note with the end there is like it wasn't good representation, but transgender people still had power in horror.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Because I do think
and
this like attachment need to be like, yeah, to like maybe like gravitate towards things that represent your people or something. But I don't think that she's like glommed onto it as like, it made me feel seen.
yeah, well, exactly. I think that's the difference between attachment core and not attachment core whenever we're talking about that in social doms is I find that attachment cores only want positive representation of their group. And non-attachment cores can actually find some power within the negative representation, especially social power.
Well,
Like, man, who was it? I don't remember. I don't remember. I was reading a social philosopher about gay men and how gay men in a lot of movies are represented as like these horrific figures, and a lot of horror movies, the real horror for the male characters is the act of being physically powerless to another man. And that's what makes it especially horrifying for men, which is a homophobic fear that is expressed through the horror movie. And
I don't know if it's a homophobic fear. I think it's a valid fear, but
well, it's
maybe
by homophobic, he more meant like a social homophobia, a social contagion of homophobia that was present through through the AIDS crisis and the gay liberation movement. There was a fear that gay men were going to like convert you or rape you stuff like that.
I think the
And
convert one is a little bit of a a little bit of a
it,
tell that somebody has a secret they're not willing to own up to, but
and so a part of the power of gay men identifying with these horror monsters is it's the power of being othered and the power of the fear that being the other instills. It's not disempowering necessarily. Now, that does lead to like some anti-gay hate crimes and stuff like that. So it's not all sunshines and rainbows,
yeah.
but negative representation can make you feel seen, and that's why horror movies have such an influence in gay culture.
I never thought about that before.
Also because gay men are horrifying.
There's my husband. There's my husband in the
Horrors.
peanut gallery.
Well, yeah, also horror, not all horror. I mean, I think horror a long time ago. I think like a lot of horror now is like just a garbage waste dump of regurgitations. But yeah, I think it was a good way of expressing, like allegorically expressing deeper fears of society. I don't think it's like used as well anymore. I think that people have lost their brain power and it's only getting worse with ChatGPT, etc. But whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we can watch something else. What's this one? I wish that I wouldn't have just done that with my voice, but I'm not editing.
Looks like it's mostly about Alaska.
Um,
I was just about Alaska talking about Sharon.
hey Queen, what is this? Looks messy. We can watch some of her like.
So
I
nice.
guess that's not helpful though.
The show's just begun.
Well, it seems like there was a period a few years ago where there was lots of reports of mean Sharon Needles.
Yeah, oh, sure.
I mean, with that, I know that you won and everything changed and went bonkers in your life. You went from being a little Pittsburgh queen, kind of doing your own thing, to being #4 on iTunes, getting letters from kids that changed their lives. Suddenly your relationship was put under the spotlight.
Yeah.
Was that kind of a downward spiral in that era? Or was it an up and then a down and then an up?
Well, I mean, not to plug my own album again, but I wrote a song called Hollywouldn't, which is very about, being so applauded in an industry where you're so oversaturated with love that there's really only one way for that to go, and that's south, and this town, and just the way people look at celebrities or sub-celebrities or reality stars, and it's very much like a roller coaster. It's this
Sub-celebrities.
That's a good term.
Yeah, totally. I think I don't know, I feel like she's double frustration.
Yeah.
She's like kind of vicious, but like not vicious. It's like casually embodied viciousness. It's like
I'm seeing a lot of just everything is being framed very negatively. While also recognizing the positives that she's getting. She's like, well, yeah, it's positive, but it can only go down now.
yeah.
I can't keep going up. I'm definitely seeing a four fix.
You think I'm like she's either has to be like 7 wing 6 1 3 or 7 wing 6 1 4 or I don't know. I don't I don't know. I don't think she would be a 7 9 4, for example. That's kind of like not, at least to me, not on the table. But I don't know. When I used to watch her a long time ago, I was like, I feel like she's got a 4 fix, but I don't know. Maybe. Sorry. Rambling, but trying to remain open. I guess we can keep watching. Every boner is a blessing. Is that what
That is what it says. Yep.
great slow rise to something you worked so hard for, only to be scrutinized and to be picked apart.
And you lose your fucking mind?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. There's no way to prepare.
What do you type contra points?
Contra points I typed 714 social self-pres. 7 wing 6, 1 wing 9, 4 wing 3. I know that she got a 9 fix and 9 core from certain other people, which is not right.
Interesting. I wonder if she is triple frustration. Like there's something because if she has it, I almost don't think it can be double competency because
No.
no, like and she would be like a Karen alter ego. Like that doesn't quite feel right. She has a negative self-image too. I mean, 7 weeks
Yeah.
can just have that, but not with a one. I don't know. I wonder if she's triple frustration. It's kind of exciting. I think Quentin Crisp, who I tipped ages ago, is a triple frustration, but I could have fucked up his type. I think he's a 1 wing 9, but I might mess that up. That'd be interesting if she's a triple frustration. That would make sense why I like her.
Yeah, I'm pretty well convinced of that. I've watched like every interview of hers that I could
Oh no, I
possibly
mean
find.
Sharon Needles, not
Oh,
ContraPoint's
7
weirdly triggered me actually. I almost wonder if she's actually like a 1 wing 9, 7-4 or something.
Oh, 1 wing 9 core. That'd be interesting. That'd be an interesting possibility.
I don't know that I got 7 core off her. I think I would have liked her more. But I think she triggered me for other reasons because I think she was talking about something, maybe it's stuff I talked about or something. And then I was like, fuck you. And then I was like, I'm not watching this ever again. I could see her maybe being a 1 wing 9, 7-4. But I don't know. I've never tried to type her.
Interesting.
going off script again. But anyways, okay, I'm gonna try to look at Sharon Needles through this lens.
Okay.
Because she'd be dark Karen alter ego, which makes sense with her characters. Because she's a roaster. Like she loves roasting the fuck out of people. Like Michelle Visage or whatever. Like she's the
Yeah.
original of that, right? Like roasting Michelle. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think in the Snatch
Um,
game.
Yeah, Snatch Game. Oh yeah.
an individual for that type of overnight success. And you think about real celebrities. You think about like the Tom Cruises and the Angelina Jolies. You know, they come to Hollywood. They work so.
Oh, also, this is maybe like an anecdotal made up observation, and I've been trying to rein myself in, but I think that 7-4s can go really crazy on the lipstick, where they look like crazy homeless person with the lipstick, and I feel like she kind of like where it's just like
Way overdrawn.
I feel like I did that. I'm like, look at your makeup, bitch. Like, what are you doing? You're serving street trash. You're serving street trash on Broadway. Like, what is this? And she kind of does that too. I don't know.
Hard, and it's just inch by inch by inch trying to get to a place where they want to be. Reality television fame is very different. It's taking average people, putting them on a TV show and propelling them into temporary superstardom immediately. And I'd never had money before, so having money was very foreign to me.
Right.
I never had fans or anything like that. I never was admired or considered someone who was like a spokesperson or a voice for freaks or bully people. So I was bombarded with something that I couldn't manage at first. And the $100,000 was great, but I would have really appreciated if RuPaul wrote me a manual.
Right. Or had lunch with you, maybe to be like, girl, don't spend it all on drugs.
Well, it's definitely some of it on drugs. Come on, still a drag.
If she is like one
I'm
thing,
still a
then
drag.
she could potentially not be social self-pres, but she does kind of talk about a lot of like socially.
Yeah, she keeps on referencing being an icon to freaks and weirdos and stuff like that, which
It's a little bit of a six thing, but
it doesn't seem like she is necessarily.
I
I
don't
don't.
think
I
she's a dark Karen.
no.
Could she be a dark Karen? I weirdly have a thing for dark Karens, so maybe
Pitts,
she's
Pittsburgh. She was at the Pittsburgh City Council. Okay, that's weird.
maybe she is a dark Karen. I've always kind of thought of her as seven in the headspace, but I feel shook. Do you want to pull up her Instagram and I'll change over the
Yes, let me find it.
how much time do you have left?
I have infinite time.
Spoken like an SP last.
I'm not conservative with or I'm not stingy with my time if for fun stuff. Okay. Hold on, let me make sure I don't have anything weird up. Okay, no, I don't.
Surprise! It's me, Nick,
Oops.
again!
Okay.
You and your dogs curled up in front of a fireplace, naked.
Um, that's a really old reference. When was
My city.
Yeah, it's from her season calling her Party City. That was her rival on her season 4, and she tagged Fifi O'Hara. What is I thought Fifi quit drag. Apparently not. Okay, that was just Fifi being dramatic. And Fifi is a 6.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
that's the one thing is that Sharon doesn't freak out about like six things. She doesn't have that like fear, sort of constant churning fear thing of, are we on the same page? Are we okay? But she does have like a sixy self-righteousness. But I guess that could be if she's one fix. Just that super ego sort of um
oh, got sober at AA, which again points to for me it gives points to being social dom. I won't fucking go to AA. What a waste of time.
I did go once with this chick, who's a hot mess too, and she's like, let's go to AA together. I was like, okay. And we went and we didn't like look into it. We just found an address and went, and it was like a men's shelter. And we went in and we were just like, oh fuck. We're like two cute females in this homeless shelter for horny alcoholic men. Okay. And then, yeah, after that, I was like, I'm never doing that again. And I also just didn't like it because I was like, I don't want to chip. I don't want to talk about anything. This isn't fun. I'm sorry, but if you want to get a 7 to quit alcohol, find something funner to replace it with.
Yeah, and don't be a bummer. It's so just people acting like they are just slaves to alcohol. I have quit alcohol without going to rehab so many times, and I start drinking again. But I can still just get it under my belt and stop for a while so that my body can recover and I don't die.
Yeah, yeah, hear ya.
But anyway, back to the topic at hand. Yeah, the AA thing does definitely uh to me I'm all but convinced of social self-pres.
Okay, let's look at Sharon's body because I feel like that might point to triple
Uh,
frustration even a little bit. Like there's the spindly, frustrated-y, bony, I don't know, spider,
yeah, she does look like a spider.
like
That's a good way to put
one
it.
kind of thing. I mean, I think 1 3. I think Bisou says three wing four plus. Fuck, I can't remember if it's with 7 or 1 is like no one can be skinnier or hot enough or something.
Just very angular features as well, and
Yeah,
holds her face. She does hold her face very tightly,
yeah,
uh, in or out of drag.
yeah, yeah. It would definitely be 1 wing 9 if she's like one fix. There's like a very like gaudily pulled in. And she has the, you know what, actually, because the old, lots of types can like old Hollywood, so, but I feel like sometimes 7 4s specifically can be attracted to that kind of like glamorous, ridiculous, of like the old Hollywood thing, and she sort of is. I'm trying to think of how to distinguish this from like Amanda Lepore, who she was doing sort of the Jessica Rabbit pinup thing, and this is like messy and like kind of ugly. It's like
Well,
bright.
it's like punk, you know?
Hmm.
And I think that just is she took the old Hollywood aesthetic, said, let's incorporate punk and grunge and horror into it, and but still keep it old Hollywood.
Yeah.
Look at that bodysuit. That is great.
It's funny, but I do actually put like Karen's like 136 with funeral home shit and like autopsies. I've just anecdotally noticed that some of them are like super into like dead shit. Like they're just into like, the true crime, like
Ugh.
ever shit. But she's like kind of doing it in a different way that's like more like Bundy as a pig.
Pig
Pig
Bundy,
Bundy.
that's funny. That's funny.
That is good. That's
Sense of humor. Oh, her on a toilet. There we
where
go.
all my crushes have to be. Why do they all have to be gay? I mean, toilet pictures, I think, are the realm of seven, but I could be wrong.
I mean, I have posted those as a joke.
I have a bunch on my old. Cute, cute.
Okay. That's the only
Hotter.
like
We're going reverse aging, getting hotter.
that's the only one that I've seen of her so far that has been not horror or punk.
We could watch some of her music videos or something, and maybe just go.
Yeah.
Okay, she kind of has the fabulousness of seven, so it's sort of like I mean, I guess all drag queens do, but no, but she delivers like embodied fabulousness, and she's
Ooh,
dark. I feel like she kind of has to be 4'3".
which one of the Oh, well, there's
That
one where
battle
she's
axe, like that is so good. That's obviously a Joan Crawford reference, but
do you want to do that one?
it's that one.
Is my sound going?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I am finding this curious because it's the kind of stuff that triggers the shit out of me, but I've been working on it. There's a thing I see that I feel in myself that I feel like is maybe a 7'4". Could be, I don't know, whatever. She's painting herself as the main character and everybody else is like an NPC. It's like the spaceless whatever. And she's like, she's the only one who's living in full color and like everybody else is just some weird little matrix ant. Like that sort of course, this is just one video. But I don't know. I feel actually pretty sold on her being 7'4".
Yeah, I do too. And especially with, as you said, with everybody else being a faceless NPC,
Yeah.
that was very interesting. And I also find it interesting that so this was 7 years ago. So that was like 3 years after her season. And the guest star Fifi O'Hara and her famously had beef on the show, and now she's guest starring in her music video. And so there's also this intelligence of self-referencing her
Mm, yeah.
her own what catapulted her, and insinuating like, oh hey, me and this person have made amends.
Mm.
Um
I feel like that's
so
7 6 6 7 space too, the meta.
yep.
Yeah.
And at this point, I hate to harp on it so much, but there are so many fucking points in the social dominance column that people who think she is SPSX just because she does gory stuff are actually insane.
Mm.
That's there's too many points.
Gore because she's like, I want to explore body gore.
Yeah,
It's like saying something. It's like she's making a social point of like, here's the thing that I want to say, and I'm using SP to say it.
yeah, using the body to support her social goals.
Yeah.
So, do you want to continue with the music video, or do you want to switch to another one?
Yeah, let's switch. It's not very good.
Okay.
Good song, I hate to say.
It's not her best song.
She doesn't have
Um,
9 fix. I think that confirmed for me.
I was attracted to this one where she's watching an old woman die.
I love her. Oh, I wish she was my girlfriend. Hicks. This is
6
sending
6.
us a signal. I think she's too upper side.
Why look so surprised? You had to know I was coming. If it's any consolation, it's the natural law. Death. It's so common.
Yeah, it is!
No! No! No!
Oh my god. Strong start.
Very hard. Death is so common. Like,
Sorry to call you whenever I want to hear you remember
Oh, that's cheesy.
how we saw the whole world together. Is this the Twilight Zone? Oh, only wanted me until I found you. We would howl at the full moon. I lost my mind and then I lost my ground control. Yeah, I drank too much, I can't admit it. At least can handle all my own shit. The light of my life became a black hole. Yeah. I'm 300 below. Welcome to absolute zero. Now we're dead as disco. Welcome to absolute zero.
I think her artistry lies in the visual, not the audio.
I am
I want to share Needles movie. I want to share Needles horror movie.
that
Was a
I think
funny.
she could have a great. The intro was funny, and then we started mixing metaphors, and it just went downhill real fast.
She's leaning. It's the 7 urge to do everything. It's the 7 urge to try every path to fabulosity and artistry, and then you have to like whittle them down and be like, not very good at that, or that didn't spark joy, or whatever it is. I think she would make an excellent horror film, like a campy horror filmmaker. Like I want to see Sharon Needles
Yeah,
films.
like
Dang.
direct, because it's just proof that having a 4 fix doesn't necessarily mean you have great taste in everything. Because that transition scene to
No.
where she's in outer space made me want to
It's terrible, yeah.
do stuff that will get this video banned on YouTube.
Yeah, 7
Um,
like a cursed.
it it was an attempt was made, but that was horrible. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Ugh. The opening was great though.
Yeah. God, I
I
love
got
her again. I'm just obsessed again. Obsessed again. Sharon Needles.
I I'm really inspired by seeing old people get euthanized.
That weirdly also seems one fix to me. Where, well, I mean, the whole like death is so common. It's like that's when I went crazy in 2020 because I was like, I can't die a commoner's death. Like that's literally what was going through my mind was like I was like I have to pull up in case I die like a regular person. Like this isn't what I dreamed for myself, and that was my fear. It was like I don't get to have my beautiful dramatic death that I've been fantasizing about for years. And but I also think it's like some weird one fix thing of like let's kill people because I think one fixers are the ones in the hospitals that are like suffocating the old people and like doping them up with pills and like it's like the Nurse Ratchet shit.
Oh God, yeah. It's there's also something in the way she clearly had input on that line and the way she said it like it was something that was so profound and it just wasn't. Like that's like a 1-9 space to me. Um
But she's not a
and
1-9, you don't think, right?
no. I mean like the 1-9 zone or the 9-1 zone.
I think she would have no, but I'm curious to like just to fortify our own typing of her, why she's a 7, 6. I think she's self-deprecating, I guess, is one. Ones aren't self-deprecating.
Yeah, I
She also seems like hooked into like I feel like 7-wing 6s and 6-wing 7s are the ones who are like secretly into like gossip and like celebrity like references and
and she definitely seems very plugged into that. I think her her behavior on the show and her behavior in real life, as with some of the aforementioned controversies at the beginning, uh, point me really hard towards a 7 core. Um, for her gut, I'm I'm really feeling 9-wing 1 for some reason.
do you think she's a 7-9? No, I think she's too to be I don't think she could be a fairy type. I think she's a
I was thinking about that, but I was wondering if it was social self-pres.
no, she I don't think she's soft enough. I think she's I don't know. But yeah, like what are your points like for her being like
So for 7-wing 6, as I said, she has a strong push. She has a strong vision that she goes for. Um, she shows very little restraint, which I mean, 6s can get into, but there's usually some justification for like, you're the reason I drink. Hers was I had money, so I could do drugs and I wanted to. Which is to in my opinion, a very 7 response to substance abuse. Um, for 9, it's like for 9-wing 1. Actually, no, I'm gonna go with 1-wing 9 because I was trying to come up with points and I don't have any good ones that aren't just um like not like related to her not being super ego enough. Like I don't see that as very well, but I also
it's
don't
also not
see.
very psychedelic. Do you know what I mean? Like I mean we're looking
Yeah, that's fair.
this has a kind of lunatic asylum vibe, which I more put with triple frustration, but yeah, she doesn't have the psychedelia. I don't think of the 7-9 stem of like I mean she kind of does in some where she's like floating and like but it feels like a like it's like how ones try to do anything or people with one where it's like I'm having fun, right guys? This is what fun looks like, right? Like that's sort of
My
what like those guts looked like was where I was like I'm floating in outer space. It's not like the sort of vibey, melty. This is also partly where I came to grips with the fact that I'm 9 fixed was like, yeah, I might everything I draw looks nice.
one body language is very rigid.
Yeah, and look at
Um,
her right here. Do you see that second from the bottom? Look at that.
wait, hold on, where?
Sharon Needles, Andy Warhol is dead. She's doing this like she's kind of got that like spider. It's like
Hold
a
on, where?
spider.
Oh, second from the bottom. Oh, Andy Warhol is dead. Oh, there we go.
I
I
wonder
don't
if
want to listen.
they're gonna
I
make
don't want to subject my ears to her, but let's. What is? Okay, that is a great Andy
I
Warhol
don't know. It's just
interpretation,
like
I
makes
guess.
me like find Sharon Needles hotter and hotter, even though it's like really bad.
Even though her music is terrible.
Give it a like, give it a little like. But I think
Okay,
that
I'll give it
also
a good like.
speaks
I'll
to
give it a
her.
like. There we
Like,
go.
I think that's what seems social last is that she has like the certainty and the confidence. I'm sure she doesn't have like confidence inside, but it comes across as certain confidence, which is one fixed, right? In my mind.
Yeah, I think 7 plus 1 is overly confident in their opinions about things. I know I am, but you're not supposed to be self-referential whenever you're doing these things, allegedly. But I am.
A geek mythology production. I like that. That sort of also speaks to a bit of one nine influence.
Who directed this? It was like directed by a couple. Okay.
She
And
needs to
produced.
make a movie. Like put this into a movie.
Yeah, she just needs to stop singing.
Some kind of like
Please.
Nurse Ratchet, like drag ward, like nightmare sleepaway camp,
Nurse,
like
Nurse Ratchet's
Ratchet.
Nightmare Sleepover Camp.
I want to watch that. Somebody give her some money to make a movie, but don't let her spend it on drugs. Control
Because she will be dead.
it.
She
Anyway,
will die.
that was fun. I'm glad we typed her. I'm glad we typed her together because yeah, I feel like I've looked at her a bunch of times and been like, I don't know, am I just projecting that she's four fixed because I like her?
No, I definitely think she's four fixed. Like undoubtedly. I don't see 3-wing 4 at all.
No, I guess not. Like, there's no way there'd be like 1-3 or 9-3. Like, she's so disruptive and like doesn't care. And it's not building towards some sort of grand architecture of her
Yeah,
vision.
she's not like with 3-wing 4s, I see um I mean they feel refined in a certain non-self-destructive way. Like they can do the grody grungy thing, but it's not to this level. And there does seem to be a level of that self-destruction and self-hatred that 7 with a 4 fix, no offense, has inside, um to kind of like, if they succeeded too much, they want to blow it up because that's defeating the image of themselves as
Mhm.
whatever the four
No, I like
four
it.
fixers have. I'm not gonna speak to the our 4 fix experience.
Well, to steal like a David Gray is I think he said 7-4 stem is like a depression the musical, and I feel like that's kind of like what she is.
Yeah, I love that. Depression the musical.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what she does because it is like the seven color schemes of like bright, but and it also feels contra the way she does her colors because it's not vibey. It's very much like slapping you in the face. Like it's bold, it's bright, it's disruptive. Um, and I also just feel like Synflow design is like more palatable, and I feel like she has that unpalatable. Um,
Yeah, it's not for everyone for sure,
yeah,
and it's
it's
not
like
meant to be for everyone.
no, at any rate. Oh, we typed Sharon Needles finally.
Woo!
I'm so happy. Thank you, Connor. Okay, Sharon Needles. So she is a yeah, social surprise. We both think I think you made really good points for social, so I'm just gonna go with it.
Yep. Uh, So yeah, social self-pres, 7 wing 6, 1 wing 9, possibly,
Yeah.
and 4 wing 3 for
Yeah.
sure.
I don't know about fixed order. It could be either or. I don't really care. Yes. Triple
I
frustration.
always,
I don't know how you would know.
yeah, well, and I just simplify it and go, okay, assertive hexad gets their heart last, compliant hexad gets their head last, because it just makes it simpler, and I don't have to think too much about it.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to that, but I get what you're saying. She yeah, I think I call that one Sphincterella.
I like that.
And then yeah, she'd be a wing 6, 1 4. So she'd be yeah, a scab doily. She and her alter ego type would be Amanda Lepore's shadow type. So there's they have a lot of actually overlap with their type. It's just not in the same spots, like or order or whatever. And then her shadow, what is hers? 6, 9, 3. Oh, well, there you go. She's
Flexibility.
the changeling in the shadow space. She's adaptable. So she is hooked into the culture. That's interesting, actually, because she does bring in a lot of pop culture into her performances, but she does it in such a way that's like, what am I even looking at? We didn't even
Yep.
watch any of her impersonations, so I strongly urge people to watch her season of Drag Race, which now I want to watch just because I don't know. Now I want to watch
Season
that.
4.
But then it makes me sad because she got so much work done, and I don't know. She was like, I just found her really hot. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, plastic surgery maybe wasn't the move for her.
I get why she did it though. I get why she did it. She still looks good.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm not saying she looks bad.
Yeah, I really want to see her in some kind of weird Joan Collins role. Joan Crawford. I always confuse them. Joan Crawford. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know who Joan Crawford is.
Okay. Yeah, you
Yeah,
should.
hold on. I was like, I'm not that uninformed.
On that note.